Welcome to Pal GK lecture series on Indian economy, and the topic for the session is effects of inflation. Under the topic inflation, we are covering each of these topics in a separate video session. For this session, we are taking up effects of inflation. We already know that inflation is the general trend in the rise in the price level. Now, how does it affect the different economic units in the economy? Now, to understand the effects of inflation, one needs to have a clear understanding of the relationship between real and nominal interest rate. So, I have done a separate video lecture on the same. Please refer to it before going forward. So, basically we have seen that real rate of interest is adjusted for inflation, that is real rate of interest is equal to nominal rate of interest minus rate of inflation. For example, if for a fixed deposit of rupees 10,000 in the bank is offering the rate of interest of 8%, and let's suppose the inflation during this period of 1 year is 5%, then the nominal rate of interest is what the bank is offering, that is 8%. And the real rate of interest is what we are getting after taking inflation into account, that is it's 8% minus 5%, which comes to be 3%. Now, during the periods of inflation, the creditors or the lenders, they will lose. How? Now, creditors, they are expected to earn some interest on the money they have lent to the other party. Now, because of inflation, the real rate of interest that they will receive would be lower than the nominal rate of interest because of inflation. That is why they will lose. On the other hand, the borrowers or the debtors, they will gain from inflation. The borrowers, they have to pay back the interest rate on the borrowing that they have taken. Now, because of inflation, the real rate of interest comes out to be lower than the nominal rate of interest. So, effectively they are paying back lesser amount of interest rate in real terms. Let's get back to the previous example where the bank is offering an interest rate of 8% on the fixed deposit, and the rate of inflation in the economy is 5%. Now, please note here that here the account holder who is making a fixed deposit with the bank, he is the lender, he is giving his money from his account to the bank for a fixed period of time. So, he is lending its money to the bank and the bank is the borrower. Now, in case of inflation, the real rate of interest that is received by the lender or the account holder is 3%, which is lower than the nominal rate of interest. So, here in this case, the lender is at loss, whereas the borrower or the bank is effectively paying the real rate of interest of only 3%. So, the borrower is in gain during the period of inflation. Let's look at another example. Here, a person is taking a loan from the bank of rupees 1 lakh, and the bank is offering that loan at the rate of interest of 12%. Inflation in the economy has been, let's say, 5%. For a period of time, let's say for 1 year it has been 5%. Now, the nominal rate of interest is the rate that the bank is quoting, that is 12%, and the real rate of interest comes out to be nominal rate of interest minus rate of inflation, that is 12% minus 5% is equal to 7%. Now, please note here that here in this case the bank is the lender, he is giving the money to the account holder and the account holder is the borrower. Now, in this case, the bank, that is lender, is at loss because the real rate of interest that it will earn is lesser than the nominal rate of interest, and the borrower, that is the account holder, would gain because the real rate of interest that he has to pay back is less than the nominal rate of interest. Thus, in both the cases, we can see that whosoever is the lender will always be at loss and the borrower will always gain during the periods of inflation. Next is the effect of inflation on the savings. Now, as we know that during inflation the purchasing power of rupee decreases. So, the purchasing power of our savings also will decrease. That is, the worth of the currency or the rupee saved would decrease. This erosion in the purchasing power of savings is also known as cash drag. So the inflation will hurt the savers. inflation will also hit the salaried and fixed income group people the hardest, because the salaried or the fixed contracts that the workers have, they do not adjust with inflation immediately. Business community gains from inflation. Now during the periods of inflation, the businessmen who are already having a stock of finished goods with them and inventories with them, they can increase the prices of their products as there is inflation in the economy, and as such their profit margin increases, so they gain during inflation. This sudden gain for the business community is also known as windfall gains. Farmers also gain from inflation, as now they can get better price for their harvest. And of course they can get better price only when there is less number of middlemen involved in the supply chain, and these middlemen should not eat a major portion of the increased margins. Next is effect of inflation on our exports. So now we are looking at external sector also. Now whatever goods and services we are producing in the economy, a part of it has a demand from the domestic market, and also it has some demand from the international market that we are exporting. Now whenever the domestic rate of inflation is greater than the rate of inflation in other countries, then the products which we are exporting in the world market, they will become costly. So whenever our products become costly in the international market, we say that they become less competitive in the world market or international market. Now as our products become less competitive, or we can say they become costly, their demand in the world market declines. As a result, there is decline in the exports, and this leads to lower production and high unemployment in our country. Inflation also leads to uncertainty in the economy. So whenever there is fluctuations in the inflation rate, it leads to uncertainty, as the different stakeholders involved in the economy, or we can say the different economic units, they have a problem in making any kind of decisions. They are not sure that what will happen next, and this makes the decision making for the corporations to be difficult. Also the investors, they are not sure of the returns they are going to get because of the inflation, and that is why they are hesitant to make investment in the economy. At the same time, consumers are also likely to spend less whenever there is high rates of inflation in the economy. So overall, inflation hurts the economic output. However, at the same time, we should also know that a little bit of inflation is always good for the economy. A little bit of inflation, because we say that the growth and inflation, it goes hand in hand. Whenever there is economic growth, it will lead to inflation. In a previous video on a types of inflation, we have discussed that how economic growth leads to demand pull inflation. So economic growth and a little bit of inflation goes hand in hand. Also, RBI has set the target for inflation in India to be as 4 plus minus 2%. So a little bit of predictable inflation is good. However, any kind of uncertainty with respect to inflation is bad for the economy. So this was all for today's session. I am going to cover the rest of the topics also very soon. And if you have liked the session, then please like, share, comment and subscribe. And have a very nice day. Thank you very much.